Hey guys, so I know it's been a while since I've actually recorded any substantial content on really either of my channels. I know I uploaded a Last Will style video here on the vlog channel a while back. And while I made it public, it wasn't necessarily for public consumption. It really was just in case something happens to me medically, like it could. I just wanted to get that out. It's a video that I've been planning on making for a while. And finally I just decided to make it. And then I know basically since then, again, I've been very quiet on both of my channels. And that's kind of what this video is about. A couple of months ago, end of January, I guess, January, February, it was February, end of February. I had someone from my life who was dealing with some stuff that was about to land them back in prison or worse. So after talking to them and my wife and our family members and getting everybody's input, we agreed and we worked on getting that person down here. And that worked out pretty well for a while. This person in my life has been hooked on meth for a very long time, has been in and out of prison because of it, and things either directly or indirectly involving it, whether it was theft or whatever. And I knew I was taking a big risk by having that person move in with us for a while, but I figured because of our relationship, things might be a little bit different than had that person gone to stay with someone else. And while that was true to a certain extent, it was a regular thing of that person constantly looking for a loophole in kind of the ground rules that we had set. The rules that we had set were very, very simple. It was stay off meth and get a job. And I can say that that those things were done. That ended up that not being an issue at all. This person ended up getting a job very quickly, ended up quitting that job very quickly, ended up getting another job very quickly, and that cycle repeated. And within about 7 weeks, they had gone through 4 or 5 jobs with different manufacturing companies here in town. So then we were told that they said that they were good at keeping getting jobs, and that keeping a job wasn't actually part of the agreement. So they were going to continue to bounce around until they found something they liked, which I kind of supported, but at the same time, they knew what we meant. And again, it was them trying to just play a game. How many times can I push this button and come home and say, hey, I quit another job. I'm going to go look for another one tomorrow, or I quit this job and went and got that job, or I felt like it was constantly pushing buttons to see how far they could work the system before I finally snapped. And this went on for about 2 months, and there was just a lot of, because the person in question here is a family member, and we've always been very close in certain aspects, but unfortunately, this person's always been good at getting under my skin in ways that nobody else can or have ever been able to. It's a gift this person has. And so this went on for 2 months, and it seemed like every day I was like, dude, quit being a hey, quit being a like, how hard is it for you to not be a and it was always looking for that loophole to see, okay, well, if I get yelled at for this, maybe I try that, but this little twist on it, because then it's not technically the same thing. So that went on for a while. I can say, to the best of my knowledge, and including a blood and urine sample that were taken for other reasons by doctors in a hospital, I believe that they stayed clean, at least mostly, up until the end, where I think there may have been something shady, but I don't have any proof of it, so whatever. So the point is, during that time, during that 2 months, from like end of February until, I call it exactly 2 months later, so February, March, April 24th-ish, I was very stressed out. My anxiety levels were through the roof. I was angry. I was depressed. I was overwhelmed. Because I wanted to help this person because we've always been close. And I learned that as much as I wanted to believe it, my story wasn't special. You hear about people who are drug addicts who are, in and out of prison all the time. And you think, man, if you could give me some time with that person, I could help them. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just can't. Sometimes they hit a certain age and they're just like, F it, I'm done growing up. I'm not going to listen to anybody anymore. I'm going to do what I want, when I want, how I want. And they kind of go through this mental process of it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So they'll do something knowing it's going to piss you off. And then they just like, sorry. That's all I can say is sorry. And that was my life for a couple of months. Not necessarily daily, but often several times per week, for the full 2 months. And finally I had enough. We helped this person find other living arrangements. Thankfully, for everybody's sake, especially my mental and physical well-being, that person isn't living with us anymore. So I'm hoping with that out of the way, I'll be able to start putting out some more content on this channel as well as my tech review channel. If you're not familiar with the idea that I've got a tech review channel, I like to review products that maybe you've heard of, but with a little twist. Instead of being a GoPro Hero, whatever the new version is, it might be an off-brand that does basically the same thing. Instead of being an Apple Watch, I'm reviewing this guy right here. Let's see if he'll turn on. Figures. There we go. Whatever. Smartwatch. Obviously, there are some bugs with it. So I like to review kind of off-brand tech. So if you're interested in that, I'll have links below where you can go check that out. I hope I'll be reviewing. I've actually got, like I said, this watch, some other stuff that's here, some other stuff that's on the way. I'm planning on knocking out a bunch of videos here real soon on that channel, as well as kind of talking about some stuff on this channel that I've had ideas about in the past, but I haven't really been able to talk about for one reason or another, not because it's been personal, but mostly over the last couple of months, because I've been too depressed and anxiety-ridden to actually devote any extra mental capacity to setting up the tripod and this light right here and hitting the record button. I know it sounds like a super simple process, and I know it is, but when you got the kind of crippling self-doubt and anxiety and depression where you're just kind of like, who the cares what's going on in your life? Why does anybody watch your videos? Who are you, and why should we care? And of course I mean we, meaning you, but I was going through a lot of that recently, and it's interesting at the same time with that, kind of going back to that tech channel thing. A few months ago, I did a video with a giveaway for my 1,000 subscribers, which was really cool. And I think I released one video after that, which was kind of a quicker how-to video on something I'd already released. And then I didn't post anything else. In fact, to this day, I still haven't, but I will. But I've managed to gain another 400 subscribers, even in my own absence. So I'm really thrilled about that. I'm trying to use that as kind of a jumping off point, maybe, just to try to look at that as a good thing, rather than who the hell cares about you and what you think. I can say I've been very fortunate on that channel to mostly have supportive comments, and sometimes it's easy to overlook that. So I'm trying to kind of refocus everything to focus more on that instead of the who the hell cares aspect of things. So yeah, that's kind of where things have been for a little while now. Like I said, I plan on putting out some more videos on this channel, kind of talking about some of the stuff that I haven't had a chance to talk about for all of the reasons I mentioned before. And then of course I've got some products that are here, that are coming, whatnot. So I'm excited to kind of get back into this, start producing some more content, hopefully grow the channel a little bit more. I've actually got some merch for my tech channel. I'll post a link to that below as well. I'd like to start kind of diversifying a little bit as far as my income revenue is concerned. So, well, my revenue sources, there we go. I'm trying to diversify my revenue sources. So if you would like to support me, I've got a Patreon. I've got one patron right now. Thank you, Marcy. And like I said, I've got some shirts. Of course, I've got AdSense on here, but you probably got an ad blocker of some variety. But if you want to support, that would be awesome. At this point, I don't necessarily care so much about subscribers on here, but if you could do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button if you found the video helpful, I would appreciate that. That would actually help me out quite a bit as far as maybe getting these videos seen a little bit more. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. Thanks a ton for your patience while I was kind of going through this turmoil, but hopefully I'll get back on it, and I'll talk to you in the next video.